So I wanted to come on here and just talk for a little bit in regards to something I like to call client etiquette. And it's a really important topic that I think needs to be discussed. And I don't really see anyone taking the initiative, wanting to discuss certain things, but I'm going to take the liberty onto myself, and I'm going to discuss some things that bother me. And basically, I don't want to try to necessarily dissolve the fantasy, and I don't want to dissolve any kind of illusion, or I don't even want to intimidate anyone necessarily, but these are really serious topics when dealing with professional escorts or professional mistresses or sugar babies or what have you, anyone in the adult industry. These are very important things that I just want to touch on. So the first thing as far as client etiquette is concerned that I wanted to discuss was my screening process. Now, a lot of people in this industry have a very standard screening process. And you might be like, okay, well, what exactly is that? And why do you have a screening process? Like, what is the purpose? I'll tell you now. So, my screening process, this is what I request. When you contact me, I normally request around a few things, a couple things. First thing is a picture of yourself. That doesn't mean an inappropriate picture. That means a picture of you, your face. Nothing more, nothing less. I want to know who I'm talking to. I want to know who I'm going to be seeing. I want to know who I'm opening up my space for. I want to know who I'm jeopardizing my safety for. So these are answers to these questions that, people don't realize, like, oh, that makes sense. Like, so when I'm compromising my own safety to, see you, I expect at least a picture. I think it's only fair. Now, I respect and understand if you're a high-profile person or a person in power. It's a little worrisome to want to send a picture because of, all of the things that have happened in the past as far as, like, people selling stories or people not being discreet and leaking your information. I completely understand that. So in that situation, if people prefer not to send pictures, then that's fine. Then I have other sets of requirements that follow if you don't want to send a picture. Like sending an upfront deposit via any pay app you could possibly imagine. Now, typically my deposit that I request is for first-time clientele only. If I've seen you before, there's no need because you've already shown me that you are serious in seeing me. But I do typically request a 10% upfront deposit via Venmo, Cash App, Zelle, PayPal, Apple Pay, Google Wallet, Facebook Pay, anything. I have it. So 10% upfront, typically it's not really that much. It's, really a drop in the bucket. But at least it shows me that you are actually serious and you're going to come and you're not going to waste my time. Believe it or not, there's a lot of people that enjoy wasting my time. I don't understand it. It's like, figure your life out. So yeah, and then the other thing now, if you also don't want to send a picture, that's fine. In that situation, I do ask for the deposit, but then I also ask for a reference from another provider in the area. They don't have to be transgender. They can be genetic. It doesn't matter. I want a real provider to vouch for you. And if they can vouch for you, then that puts me a little bit more at ease. But if you are unwilling to send a reference, if you are unwilling to send a deposit, and if you're unwilling to send a picture of yourself, 3 strikes, you're out. I'm not interested. So, and I think that a lot of girls need to have, a set standard as far as what their expectations are. Because, the reality is that women such as myself, transgender women, You know, we are an incredibly disenfranchised group of people. You look in the media today, you see trans women all over the country getting murdered. So, you don't believe me, you've been living under a rock. It's 2020. So, and this is the reality. So I'm going to do everything I can to prevent anything bad from happening to me. And I think that if you have any sense of humanity in you, that you will understand that. If you don't understand it, then you should probably not be contacting women like me. You know, some of my best clientele that I've known for years truly want the best for me. And anyone that I'm willing to spend time with, I expect that same treatment. So, anyway, the second bullet point that I wanted to touch on was negotiating donations. Now, this is something I find incredibly common. I've toured all over this world, and it doesn't matter where I go, someone somewhere is always going to tell me that my rates are too high, or they can't afford me, or something like that. While I sympathize, that is not my problem. So, I'm not here to gas myself up by any means, but, my donations, I don't need to discuss numbers, but they are on the higher average, and I set these prices for myself in place so that I don't have to deal with problems. I don't like making myself available for everyone and anyone, and I don't think anyone should be making themselves available for everyone and everyone. In fact, I think that I'm very vocal about not seeing people who make six figures or less. So if I'm making more money than you, you have no business seeing women like me, because it's fiscally irresponsible. So, and that's not meant to offend anyone, but it's the truth. This industry is not reserved for people who are blue collar workers. So I have no interest in that. There are some people that have no problem with it, but I'm not one of them. And to be perfectly frank, I want to see this industry improve. I want to see those girls who are taking these insignificant $150 and $200 calls. I want to see these people thrive. I want to see these people getting what they really deserve. And $150 and $200 is not it at all. So, if someone were to approach me with a donation, hypothetically of like $150, $200, prepare to be shut down very quickly. I won't tolerate it. In fact, I say in all of my advertisements that I will not negotiate. They're non-negotiable. Typically when people say something is non-negotiable, that means it's not negotiable. So it's just simple common courtesy, and honestly, it's simple respect. At the end of the day, women that are in this industry, such as myself, we're humans. We have families. We have people that care about us, and we have lives. And to be disrespected like that and to be, for someone to look at you and to say, you're not worth that much. Like, first of all, everyone is priceless. So it's just a matter of what I'm willing to accept. And I'm only willing and ready to make sure that whoever sees me is left with a more or less memorable experience. I try to treat people how I want to be treated, with respect, kindness, and I'm straightforward. And I expect the same. So, and I don't think me expecting the same is out of the question. And that goes without say for every other girl in this industry. I think that everyone should be definitely given their worth. So please refrain from negotiating anything with me, because it won't happen. I have a minimum. That's it. I will say, okay, you know what? I will see you for X. I'm like, don't expect me to give you my golden treatment, but I will see you for a minimum if that's the deal. So it's honestly just common courtesy and respect. One of the last bullet points that I also wanted to touch on was phone etiquette. Now, this is a big deal because a lot of you really don't understand the concept of discretion. Now, when speaking to me over the phone, it's a common all around, basically an industry standard that you don't discuss explicit details over the phone. Now, it's not the fact that I don't want to disclose information as far as what will go on in a session. So that's not a problem to me at all. The problem is the simple fact that the type of transaction that we're doing is technically something that you want to call illegal, in more words or less. And so when you're texting or even speaking over the phone, any kind of tidbit of information that could potentially be incriminating, just try to avoid it. It's, like I said, I have industry standards. I have, minimum donations and expectations. And to be perfectly frank, and I think this goes without saying for any girl in the industry, if my standards are met, your standards will be met. It's a two-way street. So you give me respect, it will be given back to you. So it's as simple as that. Now, when you contact me, don't talk details. We don't need to discuss details. So long as all of your T's are crossed and all of your I's are dotted, and if you have no issues with what I'm asking, and if you're respectful and you treat me like a human being, we will not have any issues. Now, as far as additional things that are constantly sent to me on the regular, excuse me, as far as, other things, don't send me nude pictures, explicit pictures. Like, I'm not asking to see your cock. I'm not asking to see your asshole. I'm not asking to see anything like that. I'm asking for a face-to-face, like a face picture. I want to know what you look like. I know what a penis looks like. So, it's simple things like that. Like I said, at the end of the day, these are just very standard things, and I don't see anyone really discussing it, like, in detail. I don't see anyone really trying to correct anything that is bothering or that is bothersome to other girls in the industry. No one's trying to fix the situation. I can have a ton of private talks with all of my already fantastic clientele. I can tell them everything like this, but they already understand it. The people I talk to, the people I see, they already follow all of this to the people that try to question anything that I talked about that give me issues. And so this video is for you. By no means this is not addressed to everyone. This is addressed to some people that just don't get it. I'm trying to help you. I'm not trying to make you feel like shit. I'm not trying to make you feel like you're less than. I'm not trying to intimidate you. I'm not trying to make you feel invalid as a man at all by any means. But I will reprimand if I need to, and I will correct if I need to, because I want anyone who, this is a really sexy industry. Like, there shouldn't be any issues. It should be very cut and dry. It should be very like, yeah, you're fucking horny, or yeah, you want to get controlled, or yeah, you want to get anything, you want that, like, let's make it happen. This should be a sexy fucking industry. It should not be, it shouldn't be dramatic, and it shouldn't be drawn out, and it shouldn't be a negotiating issue, or it shouldn't be there shouldn't be disrespect involved. It's just common sense. And if I need to call people out for it, then so be it. But you know, everything I'm doing is just for the benefit of other girls in my industry and and it's honestly, it's looking out for you guys too. So, it's just some perspective. You know, I'm not the only person that has, you know, etiquette standards in this industry. A lot of people do. So what I'm saying right now is not out of the ordinary. So take it how you may. Take it at face value. Just at the end of the day, just remember that we're humans, and give us respect, and respect what we have to say, and respect our standards. And so long as you do that, and it's pretty easy to do it, then we can have fun. That's as simple as that. Got it? So, that's on that. Thank you for listening to me yap. I'm sure I'll be making another video soon. Ciao.